Harry has a life he never wanted and didn't aspire to and had no interest in. Smoke as much dope as you want and bum around all day and do as little work as you can. Meghan promised Harry, "We will be bigger than William and Catherine. We go back to California. I guarantee I'm going to make us bigger than William and Catherine will ever be. They can have the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. I will give you the rest of the world." Meghan Markle doing her typical thing of, if you fake it, you're going to make it. Well, she's discovering sometimes when you fake it, you make it. And we certainly know that she's faked it and made it very well in many ways. But she hadn't faked it and made it commercially, because accountants and cash registers are not the same thing as peeling bananas and nibbling on them.
It's imploded. It's completely imploded. Lady Colin Campbell, over our little Christmas break, we literally saw Archewell end as any actual real charity. We saw all of the rats finally abandon the sinking ship of the Sussexes, including the propagandists in chief, Meredith Mayne and James Holt. And we've seen the truth about Was Never completely exposed, by the way, to the point that I arrived home and Alan had bought me, as a joke, one of these Was Never candles. And look, it's such cheap tack. You can actually even show you, look, no wick in the candle whatsoever. And ladies, see, it stinks like soap. It's gross. But I just thought this was utterly indicative of what happened over the Christmas break. The wheels have come off well and truly. Now, of course, Lady Colin Campbell, here on Outspoken and on your brilliant YouTube channel, we have been reporting the truth about this for months and months and months. But to see them have to acknowledge that effectively what they set out to achieve when they went to America is now over, and that they can't even afford staff members on six-figure salaries anymore, it's pretty...
Tonight, we're cutting through the spin as new claims emerge about serious financial strain and staff upheaval surrounding Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. After a string of high-profile setbacks, royal watchers are asking a blunt question. Is the Sussex operation starting to unravel? Reports point to shrinking projects, stalled ventures, and a revolving door of staff departures. All signs, critics argue, of a brand under pressure. What was once sold as a billion-dollar post-royal empire now appears, to some observers, to be struggling with cash flow, credibility, and cohesion. And this isn't just gossip. These concerns are now being discussed openly by royal insiders, industry watchers, and former supporters. Before we go any further, hit subscribe right now. This channel brings you the royal truths others avoid.
Show that there is such a thing as justice
and karma.
You know? Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. One tail left eye.
You're so sad for them. You're so sad for them. But what's really happened here? What's really going on here? Because all of this topspin about, oh, we're continuing Archewell as a charity with Archie and Lily. Oh, but we're just going to have to get private sponsors. Bullshit. I mean, this is now an out-and-out commercial operation, is it not?
Well, it always was an out-and-out commercial operation. But it was an out-and-out commercial operation that they were able to pretend was something that it wasn't. Now that they don't have the funds to present the facade of great philanthropic enterprise, which of course it was never a great philanthropic exercise in any event, because I mean, you know, they were giving, unless it was to Biden's daughter, they were giving 20,000 here, 10,000 there, and it really was a money laundering exercise to save themselves money and to get in funding so that they could take advantage of the tax laws and wash the funds so that they could spread them very thinly. I mean, I've done shows on how their, thanks to my accounting genius, on how their tax returns show how they have literally sort of, in a series of companies, taken the money, the funds, and very limited funds. Started at 13 million, it's down to less than about 7 million now. And which is nothing when you stop to think that some great philanthropic enterprises will give away 50 million in one go. So it was always a penny ante operation, posing as something it wasn't. But basically, it was a commercial enterprise that was presenting itself as if it were a philanthropic enterprise, so that they would be able to benefit financially and reputationally. And the whole deck of cards has come tumbling down because they have not had any of the commercial and financial success that they were hoping for. They have only had two successes. The first was, and that was a Netflix success with them, was their life story, whatever it's, however you want to call it. Right? They did this, I think it was a 6-part series of their lives. That was a commercial success, and they benefited to the tune of a few $1,000,000. They never ever benefited to the tune of $100 million, never. So that was a success. Everything else has been a failure except for Spare. But Spare and the Netflix documentary have not been able to sustain, and they have been bleeding money left, right, and center. And now that Netflix is no longer supporting the enterprises, you can see the problems. And recently, in the last few days, there has been an expose of the degree of stock which they have. And I did the figures on it. And I mean, they are, if they are the ones who bought in the stock, they are significantly out of pocket. And people seem to not remember, and that when you're dealing with food stuff, everything has a sell-by date. So admittedly, spreads, jams have a reasonably longer sell-by date than more perishable foodstuffs, but everything has a sell-by date. And Meghan trying to present this as a global, that she is laying in stock for a global product launch is ludicrous, because you would have had a global product launch when you had the original launch. You wouldn't have a national product launch, then a global product launch if you were going to have a global product launch. So this is yet another attempt on her part to try to spin a failure as if it is a success. But the whole thing is, never were people more richly deserving of coming a cropper than Meghan and Harry, because they have done it as nastily and as viciously and as affectedly and as artificially as they could have done it. And quite frankly, I'm delighted to see that their business model, their modus operandi, has failed, because their modus operandi is anti-life. It is anti anything positive. It is destructive. It is not constructive. And I don't know who Meghan thought she was, that she was some hotshot financial genius, because I've been warning for some time now that the business model that they were propounding, it was guaranteed to fail. I mean, I know this because I come from a family that was in business, and business is really very simple. 2 and 2 makes 4. You're going to make a profit you don't spend £5 to sell things for £3 in the hope that enough of them are going to sell that you're going to come out with an advance when you can't. I mean, the whole thing has been ill-considered from the word go. But he's dumb, and she is, quite frankly, arrogant and incapable of learning. So I'm not surprised that it's happened.
Not at all. Not at all surprised, but the figures are astonishing, actually. And she is now just point blank lying to her friends in the mainstream media. I mean, the Royal News Network crunched the numbers. And remember, there's been no denial from Meghan's team, or as ever, in terms of the actual statistics being wrong. No denial that the statistics on the website are wrong. The only denial is over the presentation of the statistics as a failure. And Lady C, for example, in a 24-hour period, she sold none of her cider mulling kits whatsoever. I mean, she's got 14,000 of them in stock. When it came to the jam, she sold nine over a 24-hour period. And Royal News Network crunched the numbers to work out that overall, generously, Lady C, in a 24-hour period, she sold something like 0.3% of her stock. Now, even if you're very generous and you say, okay, it's January, it's a little bit more quiet. I mean, even if you times the number by 1,000, this is still one of the worst business launches ever. Then you get to the fact, Lady C, that the product is so cheap and so nasty and tastes terrible. And trust me, when it comes to that candle, not only can I not light it, it smells like a piece of rubbish too. So she's not building up any loyalty whatsoever. I mean, I just can't see how Was Never, as you brilliantly nicknamed it, can survive this.
Well, it can't, and it won't. It won't. You know, Dan, they have had to recalibrate their operation by getting rid of all of the main people. That is not a sign of retrenchment for success. That is a sign of retrenchment for survival. They're not able to survive. I don't think they're... Wait and see, because my figures were that on one day she sold 4 bottles of jam in total. You know, I can sell more than 4 bottles of jam, and I'm not selling any.
It's like a little garage sale, isn't it? So, Lady C, how much financial trouble are they in? Are they going to be able to afford to stay in the house, for example?
Well, that again is something else, isn't it? Because, you know, the house has a massive mortgage. Land tax in California is high. Maintenance costs are high. They're all, you know, are they going to be able to, or are they going to have to move to Florida? And if they move to Florida, where are they going to move to? Because if they move to Palm Beach, I can tell you something, nobody's going to want to see them. If they move to Naples, they're going to run slap bam into a very strong royalist community there. Where if they move to Sarasota, you can forget that, because that's, you know, very old world. Where are they going to move to? And maybe the Jerry Mayans will be right. Maybe they'll have to move back to England, which I don't see happening.
No, I mean, the cold, hard reality is, though, Lady C, and this is what makes a lot of people who still support Harry angry. I mean, I don't, as you know, but how are they affording the mortgage on the house? Well, they're burning through his inheritance. They're burning through the money left by Princess Diana. They're burning through the money left by the Queen Mother. And remember, she didn't want him to get his hands on that money until he was 40, because I guess the assumption there from a very wise woman was that, oh, well, by 40, he's going to have his life together enough to the extent where he's not going to waste that money. Well, I wonder how she'd feel if she knew that he was wasting this money.
To separate speculation from substance, Dan is joined by Lady Colin Campbell, who's been tracking the Sussex trajectory from the very beginning. Lady C argues that the real issue isn't just money, it's management. Lavish spending, unclear strategy, and constant reinvention have, she says, eroded confidence among staff and partners alike. When teams keep leaving and projects keep changing, funders notice, and so does Hollywood. If these patterns continue, the fallout could be serious. Fewer deals, weaker influence, and an accelerating decline in relevance. So here's the big question. Is this the moment the Sussex brand finally hits the wall? Drop your verdict in the comments. Bad luck or bad leadership? Smash the like button if you want honest royal commentary. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Stories like this are breaking fast.
As a life he never wanted and didn't aspire to and had no interest in. Okay, admittedly, the California lifestyle suits him. Smoke as much dope as you want and bum around all day and do as little work as you can. And so it's a lifestyle that suits him. Whether he aspired to it or not is beside the point. But Meghan is the one who aspired to all of this, and it's been done off Harry's money. And let's remember who's made the money. Harry has made the money through Spare, because Harry and Meghan have made no great deal of money through Netflix. As I said, the only thing with Netflix that actually was profitable was their documentary. And the figures of $100 million was always ludicrous. But so between the money Harry has made, which then, and also they have to pay tax on their earnings. Everybody pays tax on their earnings in America. If you earn the money in America, you pay tax on it in America. And so aside from that, it's the inheritance aspect of it. But I would be very surprised if some of it isn't carefully ring-fenced, so they can't burn their way through any more of it. And they burnt their way through as much as they can, and that's why they've had to let everybody go, because they went to America. Meghan promised Harry, who is very and has always been very attention-seeking. When people think that Harry doesn't share the desire for attention that Meghan has, they're quite wrong. William and Catherine are perfectly happy to be private and low-key. Harry has always loved being the center of attention. And Meghan promised Harry, we will be bigger than William and Catherine. We go back to California, I guarantee I'm going to make us bigger than William and Catherine will ever be. They can have the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. I will give you the rest of the world. Well, it's not worked out. And all of their pretensions about global this, global that, the global communications officer, like they were the resident global royal couple throughout the whole of the globe, has turned out to be yet more Meghan Markle doing her typical thing of, if you fake it, you're going to make it. Well, she's discovering sometimes when you fake it, you make it. And we certainly know that she's faked it and made it very well in many ways. But she hadn't faked it and made it commercially, because accountants and cash registers are not the same thing as peeling bananas and nibbling on them.
No, they're not. They're not. Lady C, we were obviously off over the post-Christmas period. But sometimes it is just worth looking back, because there were some delightful moments, and I've been really wanting to talk to you about what went down on Christmas Day. And actually, whether you think it's appropriate, Lady C, I mean, before we come to it, can I just ask you, is it appropriate for a member of the public to raise Princess Diana with William and Catherine's children, even if done so in a very positive manner?
No, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, they're all human beings, and and he was saying something very nice.
No, I agree.
So
I agree. I found it totally delightful, actually. And there are lots of delightful moments. Okay, so let's look at them. First, Charlotte, Princess Charlotte, very much shining in her role at a young age. And there was a great moment, actually, where she just sort of ran over and hugged a member of the public with no hesitancy. Watch this. And then, of course, we came to the conversation between Prince William and John. And John is the one who wanted to tell the kids in regards to Princess Diana.
I've got this for you.
John, how
First of
are
all,
you?
happy Christmas, William.
Very happy
But
Christmas.
First, I've got something to say to you.
Louis, come and say to John.
I've got something to say. First of all,
Hello.
George,
happy Christmas.
John.
Happy Christmas,
Charlotte.
George. Happy Christmas, Charlotte.
Happy Christmas.
George, I've got something to say to you. Nanny Diana would be ever so proud of you.
Thank you.
All right? I'm proud of you all. All right?
That's very kind of you, John.
And first of all, I've got to tell you this.
No, Lou, you've got a big one.
That's
That one's for you. John Lewis.
It's George's the same size as you, Louis. You have to carry her back.
Sean, you've got
So
your
I carry the
book.
chocolates and you carry the teddy.
I can't believe how tall George is getting.
Thank you so much.
You take me, John.
He's got to be tall. He's got to be about 6
She
foot 4.
sounds like
Oh, one day.
Thank you,
Very
George.
happy Christmas.
God bless
Merry
you.
Christmas.
I want
Merry
George.
Christmas.
Give my blessing to all your family. And Diana would be ever so proud of you. Your baby. All right? Bless you.
Bless him, he couldn't get away quick enough. But there was a great moment. And again, Lady C, it's just in one of those small instances where you saw after that happened, Charlotte came across and just patted George's back. If we look at this, so it's very brief, but it just shows, she's got her brother's back. There, look, just a little tap to say I'm with you. Anyway, then Catherine comes along and has a conversation with John as well.
They've been given to
Did you
William.
see William and the children?
I did.
Oh,
And
right,
I
good.
said to your son, George, I said, Diana Lanning would be ever so proud of you, George.
Aw,
And he always said to me, he's very
I
touched.
agree.
And I said, I said to William, your husband, I said, he's going to be 6 foot 4, he's going to be taller than you.
I know. I swear he's catching up with
So
everybody.
These are
isn't he?
especially for you.
That is so kind of
And
you. Thank you so
and
much.
you always have my prayers.
Aw,
All your family. I
thank
pray for you all
you.
the time.
That
And
is
they
so
all know that at the Westminster Abbey I've come to see you.
Oh,
Right?
good. I hope you had a good sing
And I'm
along
glad
this
to, and I'm
afternoon.
glad to share Christmas with you.
Hello, very nice to see you.
Catherine, this is for you.
Thank you.
Don't leave them.
You
It's
are
a special
so
one.
I know they are very special. I love the colours.
They've
The
all come,
roses.
they come from Clapham Junction.
You are
London.
so kind. Well, hopefully I'll see you at our next engagement.
I will do. Bless
Thank
you.
you. Happy Christmas. You too. Very nice to meet you. These for me too. Oh my goodness, everyone's so generous. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Very nice to meet you.
Lady C, quite delightful interactions with John. What did you think?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Dan, that Catherine says, I hope to see you at our next engagement. So that is obviously somebody that they know who follows them.
Exactly.
And-
Bit of a super fan.
And I mean, everybody in public life has super fans, I suppose you could call them. I mean, you do, I do.
Prince
the
Harry
royals
calls them
do.
stalkers. Ha!
Well, this is the point I'm making. It's treacherous and it's disloyal to call somebody who is a genuine fan and who is there because they are genuinely fond of you. To turn that love into something loathsome is dreadful. But no, I think that Catherine and William and the children are growing up to understand that their role is, to an extent, a matter of idealization. They are representing idealized forms of the citizenry and of governance. And, so they're not going to be, oh, I'm not in the mood today, and nobody's asked me how I am, and I'm so suffering. It's thank you so much, lovely to see you. And it's all very idealized. They look good, they present themselves well, they're there to have idealized interactions. They're genuine, but they're idealized. And this is what royalty is all about. It is an idealization of the better aspects of our lives.
Indeed, indeed. I thought it was very nice seeing. You're completely right. We see Harry and Meghan increasingly acting like the most vile, Z-list Hollywood celebrities. And look, she's always been that. But he's now that too. To the point of calling a woman from Africa who travels all over the world to see them a stalker just in order to boost his security case. And yet you see with the way that William and Catherine are raising their children that they absolutely know the role that they are going to play. And I think it's looking pretty clear to me. I know it's very early days that this suggestion that George will obviously take on a role. I mean, he's the future king, but probably ably supported by Charlotte as a full-time royal. You can see that that's how it's looking. And then the jury's still out on Louis. They're going to wait to see what he wants to do. But very lovely stuff. Great to have you back, Lady Colin Campbell. Happy New Year, and we will speak very soon. Of course, make sure you do subscribe to Lady C's brilliant YouTube channel.